Hey there superstars, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give, and today I'm bringing you a message all around kind of the concept around, that our actions speak much louder than our words, but I really wanted to kind of bring this message in a slightly different context and try and help you guys make sure that you aren't getting conned in by small talk and you're actually moving ahead and progressing in really healthy ways. And the importance of being able to do so is ultimately when we don't do this, when we're not in alignment with what's healthiest for us, when we're kind of selling ourselves out, we're just like living in hope, with other people changing or, changing their behavior, which may be like always doing the wrong thing and kind of like disappointing you and stuff. And then, it's just like these promises after promises, and then we can get totally thrown off guard and we end up sacrificing our self-esteem because we end up putting it all in this external force, this other person, and them changing and following through on their word, which certainly isn't healthy for you or them. And I want to dive into that and unpack it, and really hoping that this one is going to serve you guys with where you're at, because it's definitely serving me in my life right now. So ultimately today's message is all about the fact that consistent behavior is a reliable predictor of future results, right? So don't be fooled by the sweet talk. So what I really mean by that is that like how somebody consistently behaves, over time, they continue to show up this particular way over and over and over again, whether you deem that positive or negative, it's a really good predictor of what the future holds for that person. Now, this is coming from somebody who I like to say is, for myself, pretty open-minded, and, the work that I do is all about helping anybody change, helping anybody break through and move forward. But the fact of the matter is that there's some people, who are absolutely, the type of people who have a growth mindset, who, once they are alerted to a behavior and action that is not working out for them with the people that they care about or the environment that they're in, they make the shifts and changes. It might not feel comfortable for them to like have it pointed out to them, but they value that rather than living in ignorance because they value actually growing and progressing and, creating quality connection with the people that they're affecting. And then there's this other group of people who it doesn't matter how many times you communicate with them. It doesn't matter how many times you have the conversation, you point out what's not working, you express your feelings and emotions. Like these people they just don't change. Now, I have definitely seen people, in that circumstance where they're not changing for a period of time and then eventually they do. But I'll tell you what makes those people change, and it's not in the constant trying to communicate the same old piece of information each time that behavior happens, right? What actually happens for those people, and the reason why they're pushed to finally change after so long, is because the very people who were trying to tell them consistently what wasn't working, and they just kept saying they were going to change and saying they were going to do better and do something different, but just never did. The people who were communicating that, they said, you know what? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the whole scheme of things. I'm looking at the timeline of this behavior and the communication and the promises and the changes of perspective, but I'm actually seeing that no real action is being taken. And because of that, I choose no longer to venture down this path with you, because it feels like, it's just all talk and no action. It's lost its meaning. It's lost any sense of hope in terms of a more positive future for us, because you keep saying you're going to change and nothing ever happens. So, it's just not going to work out, right? And when that happens, there's an opportunity for this person who hasn't been changing for a long period of time to kind of wake up and go, whoa, okay, like I've been used to kind of just being able to talk myself around with this and kind of sweet talk my way around, and then actually not really have to change until it happens again. Then yeah, it's uncomfortable, but always gets accepted. And now it's not accepted. And now I'm really am faced with the fact that I might lose this person in my life. And I don't want to do that. So maybe this is enough pain and enough of a kind of push to be able to go, all right, let me seriously look at my behavior here and make some shifts and changes and work out what's working for me, what's not working for me, and be more intelligent about how I want to run the course of my life and my relationships. And so sometimes, we as that person who wants this person, you see their potential and you see, their greatness, and you can see like if they just could stop doing this or replace that behavior with this or make this shift over here, we could go to a whole new level in our relationship, in how you're growing. And, we have these great intentions, right? But where we fall short and where we cut off from being of service to those people in our lives that we're trying to support and help is when we constantly go back on our word and kind of just drop our standards, drop our levels so that, we can kind of just give them the benefit of the doubt again and again and again, and think, okay, maybe this time is the time they're actually gonna, this is gonna sink in. They're gonna actually change. And when we keep doing that, that's what keeps people stuck. It keeps them enabled. It keeps them validated in their position, and they've got no real reason to make any shifts or changes. So sometimes you got to be willing not to be liked so that you can actually be of true service and value to the people that you actually care about. And it's a really good test. The test is, are you actually ever going to step up and make a shift here? And I would rather find out now rather than later, and I want to just say that what I'm talking about is on a timeline, right? It's not just like I have this need or this way of being and I need this kind of person to behave a certain way in order for me to feel good, but I'm not going to communicate about it or I'm not going to talk about it because they should just know that stuff. Come on, right? Because it's common sense to us. And so we go about our life and then we're like, no, this person is just neglecting this totally. I just don't want to have a bar of them. Boom, you're out. And you haven't actually given them an opportunity to kind of understand you and know how to treat you and how to behave around you in order to grow a better, deeper connection. And it's also not about when you just communicated it once and then just expect this person to just completely transform into you, that's not going to work either. But you kind of know intuitively and instinctively where that point is where how many times do we have to go on about this? How many times do we have to go through this? Why do we have to have this drama in our connection? Why can't we just get each other, understand each other, and only agree to make the shifts and changes that are actually in alignment with the truth of who we are, rather than making false promises or rather than just sweet talking each other in the hope that they'll just shut up and go away and we'll just continue doing whatever poor behaviors we're doing in our lives. So that kind of is my message for you guys today, but I really want to leave you with thinking about, giving people the opportunity to do better, but don't stay around long enough, just because they're saying pretty good things, and remember, actions always speak louder than words, particularly over the long run. Okay. So, really notice, how does a person show up in this situation? How do they respond in this situation? How do they treat me? And over a consistent period of time, what does that look like? And know that, looking at, consistent behavior is actually a really good predictor of future results. How do they deal with conflict? How do they, when you've got a challenge, how do they listen to you and understand you? Or do they just condemn you and shut you down? Or do they just kind of try and sweet you, talk you out of it until it happens again? It's see what's consistent over time, give people the benefit of the doubt, but communicate openly and directly, and don't expect anybody to be a mind reader, and aim for depth of connection and extraordinary quality of relationship. Don't ever settle, and definitely don't settle, for poor treatment, poor behavior. You can always question behavior, but look for trusting their intent. If they knew better, they'd do better. And over time, if you're feeling like you've consistently given them the knowledge about you to know better in order to do better, and that doing better, it just ain't working, ain't happening, then, have the courage to go, you know what? I have to draw the line here. I'm going to draw the line in the concrete here because it just ain't getting through to you in the sand. And I value depth of connection. I value us growing and not getting caught up and tripped up on surface level things that can be shifted and changed, and I want to be able to trust in the words you say because you back them in action. Now that is the foundation to actually growing and deepening our connections, and ultimately that's where our fulfillment is. So I'm really hoping that me talking into this with you guys is of value. Maybe you have somebody in your life right now who you feel like, oh my God, like they're just all talk, and it's just the constant same problem all over again and the same challenge, and they're not really shifting and changing. Like, maybe I need to look at this, and maybe you want to share a message like this with anybody in your life who you can feel is on either side of the playing field. Those people out there, maybe it might be you or other people who, you're just seeing how like they're letting people treat them this poor way that is not good for them, that they know is not good for them, but they just keep letting it happen over and over again. And you can see it's getting them nowhere. Nobody's shifting, nobody's changing, and only self-esteem is dissipating, right? So think about it from those two angles. Hope this has definitely served you, and I would absolutely love to check in with you guys. Say hi, let me know where in the world you are tuning in from, and if you would like to ultimately have masterclasses around the concept of relationship, around communication, around what we're really talking about here in terms of knowing who you are, what you want, having the courage to go after it, knowing how to create healthy boundaries, knowing how to understand your motivations and other people's motivations so that you can connect at the deepest levels and actually grow. All that sort of stuff is what I tackle in our Limitless Potential monthly masterclasses. There is a stack of amazing masterclasses ready for you to access right now when you join. And also, I've got an amazing monthly masterclass coming up on the 30th of December, and it's all around the neuroscience of personality. It is going to be absolutely life-changing, and I feel like those are big words, but the reason why I say them is because this is the framework that has been completely revolutionary in my life and in all the clients that I work with. It just gives such depth of self-awareness, of awareness of others, and ability to grow to your highest potential and access what your unique genius is. It is profound stuff, like so much more that I can't reiterate or would be here all day. But if that is of interest to you, I really do hope that you will sign up to the monthly masterclasses. Link is up above, and all of you guys who are already in there, I love you guys. Can't wait to see you then. And let me check in. I've got Jace in the house, awesome, and Sanula, and Michelle, and Gregory, and good afternoon to you, Jace, from the sunny Gold Coast. I love it. I'm down here in Warrnambool at the moment, and yeah, loving the beach action and a bit of sunshine. And Wyan's here, and Lucy's here, and Melissa, and Cindy, and Ray, and Judy, and Adrian, and Laura, and Sylvia. Awesome to see you guys. And Jace, be a doer, not a gunner. As some people are always, I'm gonna, but never do. You know what, Jace? I am so on your page. Like, nothing infuriates me more than just the constant yeah, I'm gonna do it. Well, have you done it? Like, exactly what you're saying. And also, just the empty promises. Like, I have literally gotten to a point in my life right now where I'll absolutely believe your word, but if you don't follow through, like, I don't really care what you say or what excuses you have for it. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing, And yeah, and sometimes we kind of have to be a little bit hard-assy like that, you know, in order to, you know, inspire the best out of other people. Like, hey, like, I'm not going to let you settle for this, like, empty promises, this mediocrity in your life. Like, I see what's possible for you, and I'm not going to enable you in that, like, low-level living, you know? So, yeah, and that's kind of the work that I do. So I love that, Jace. We're totally on the same page, my friend. And Mark's here as well, and Jeff, and hello to you, beautiful Lucy. Great to see you. So really, this is my message for you guys all around. You know, action speaking much louder than words ever will. So be a master of meaning. Have integrity with your word, and don't make promises that you know you're not going to keep. Like, take the time out. If somebody asks you to do something or make a change in some regard, instead of just trying to please them or placate them, like, actually go, you know what, if you're not sure about it, if it doesn't quite, you're not sure if it makes sense to you, it doesn't resonate with you, and go, you know what, I hear you on that. Can you give me a little bit of time? I just want to process that. I want to see, you know, what will work, you know, so that we can make this like a great sturdy change. And take your time to kind of put it through you and say, is this a reasonable request? You know, is this something that would actually improve my being, improve my life, you know, and improve our connection? Or would it be something that would be me sacrificing my truth here and sacrificing my authenticity, and it's just not going to work? So, you know, we can't just, you know, succumb to everybody's demands for us to change. We want to filter that through our authenticity and what feels right to us, but always make sure you're going for a growth mindset. It might be challenging to change, right? But if it's going to enhance your life, if it's going to enhance your connections, if it's going to make any sort of improvement that's never at the expense of your truth, then this person making this demand upon you is actually giving you a brilliant gift. So take it, run with it, grow from it, learn from it, and you will be grateful that you did. And Lucy, absolutely, you've never changed. I love it, Lucy. Always love seeing you. And Oscar's here as well, and Victoria. Awesome to see all of you guys. I hope you guys who are just joining me now that you catch the recording, you get a ton of value from today's message. You're definitely part of the monthly masterclasses, because if you're not, I'm afraid you're missing out. I've got so much in store for you that's already there, and so much coming up. And like I said, next monthly masterclass on the 30th of December, the neuroscience of personality. You are not going to want to miss this one. This is super powerful, and definitely on the topic that we're talking about today as well. So really profound stuff. I want to give you all of my appreciation and love and gratitude and everything brilliant, because I so appreciate you guys joining me and tuning in. And I love it when you join me live, and I definitely love it when you catch a recording as well. And any questions, any words of wisdom, any feedback that you ever have for me, please don't hold back. Always drop a comment on one of these videos, and if you do find them value, please do share them. You know, that is such a great gift that you can give to me. And as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and that today's message has served you and you're doing something super empowering. And Lucy, you look beautiful. Oh, you are so kind, beautiful. I really appreciate your kind, beautiful words, and thanks for being here. Always love seeing you. And I'm signing off. I'm sending you guys all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.